For quite some time, there is I don't know if you refer to them actually as a colony, but a colony of raccoons that do live out here, and people have taken to feeding them. They come out here and they will feed them things that quite honestly aren't really good for wild animals. I always tell people, you know, Oreos and French fries aren't necessarily good for us, and they're not good for the raccoons either. But they are cute, and we understand that everyone thinks these are cute, friendly animals, but they're not always that. And so we've now put up signs, because we don't have an ordinance at this time prohibiting feeding of animals, wildlife, but we do encourage people not to feed the wildlife. That's not good for them. They are wild animals, and a wild animal in the wild is perfectly capable of foraging for their own food. I think sometimes too, particularly the raccoons, when you see them out sometimes during the daytime, they're generally a pretty nocturnal animal that you don't see out. So the fact they're coming out for food during the daytime says also that they're becoming dependent on the human food. This is also an area that we kind of treasure ecologically out here in this marshlands, and so we want to keep it as clean as possible, and oftentimes there's litter left behind. It also draws other animals to the area, rodents and other things that we don't necessarily want to see again up close with people. They might be natural environment, but not something we always want to interact with closely. So we have put up signs encouraging people not to feed the raccoons. There's also that risk of bite. We have had one bite report from out here from someone feeding the raccoons, and since raccoons are known to be a possible an animal that can transmit rabies, they have to go, if you get bit by one, then you end up having to go through the rabies prophylaxis, which is not an easy treatment. So again, it's actually looking out for the best of humans and the wildlife themselves, to let them be the animals they are. If you do see one when you're out here, it's fine, you know, take a picture, but we really discourage the feeding because of some of the negative side effects that it brings. Well, I mean, I think the worst would be is people just continue to feed them. That means those animals are going to become consistently more habituated to human contact and not knowing how to forage on their own for food. So we're hoping that the best outcome will be that people will take our advice and heed our signs that we put up out here, and that they won't be feeding these animals.